வணக்கம், இது ஸ்டோரிஸ் வித் செல்வி. உங்களுடன் தாமரை செல்வி. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கேட்க போறது சஸ்பென்ஸ் நிறைஞ்ச ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ் த்ரில்லர், Havoc Says Hi. வாங்க கதைக்குள்ள போகலாம்.
Chapter 1. A call for me. Hello? A quiet voice responded when I attended the call. It was barely morning, and the tiredness from yesterday's office work had not left my eyes. I struggled to keep my eyes open, pushing the coral hair which fell over my drowsy face. With a hint of irritation and confusion, I made a sound under the assumption that the call must be from one of my friends who wanted to play with my sleep. Don't come after Anita. The voice was curt and resilient, and those words were unexpected. Something hard hit me inside my head. Her name pushed the sleep out of my eyes. My senses began to tune themselves sharp towards the speaker. I was not sure whether I heard it right. I was not on my bright side early in the morning, and I had never discussed my liking towards her to anyone, not even with my close friends. What? I exclaimed with self-doubt. Now the person on the other side breathed heavily, showing his impatience towards my question, which sounded like an electric storm, and replied, "You heard it right. I don't want you to search for Anita." I was in a state of confusion, and that irritated me. It should be one of my friends who knew about Anita and me. They must have wanted to play a prank on me for keeping it a secret. So I raised my voice and spoke. "Who are you?" I was fully awake now. Some part of me felt an unknowing fear growing inside me. "She is dead. I know you won't believe me, but I hope you do." My anger was rising beyond the threshold I could handle. The prank was crossing its limit. I couldn't think of any person who would be so emotionless to say something like that. "Who the hell are you?" I shouted with all my energy. There was a static electric buzz which escalated till the level of hurting my ears. And the line died. The caller's voice sounded artificial. He might have used a voice modulator. But why go through so much trouble to play a prank? And why did he call me instead of calling her parents or someone she knows? She barely knew me. I was curious, but there was a part of me which feared on his words being true. I closed my eyes and swallowed my fear. I met her only once in my life, but she was the first girl who impressed me a lot to form a liking towards her. After checking the received call list, I dialed for the previous caller. He picked the call after 5 rings. I waited in desperation. "You were shouting, isn't it?" he sarcastically asked. I tried to be apologetic. "I'm sorry. What happened to AJ?" He laughed at me. I felt he enjoyed seeing people suffering in helpless positions. I hated being one of his victims, but I controlled myself. There was something wrong about this whole picture. I couldn't understand what that was. "I killed her a few minutes ago. Actually, while I called you, she was gasping for her final breath," he calmly answered. "You are lying." I controlled my anger, fearing he might cut the call once again. He was silent. I tried to calm myself and spoke. "Why should you tell me this?" My mind began to process the possibilities for his call. First of all, why did this guy call me? Is it out of genuine interest over me? Of course it can't be. He just wants me to stop searching for her. The next important thing is, who is this guy? If he had really killed her, he wouldn't worry about me searching for her. "I will let it be there for you to decide." He derived a sadistic pleasure from all this. My intuition told me to be careful with this guy. He sounded like a psychopath who might be nothing but trouble. He knew about me and AJ. That meant he must be someone we both knew. I was confused whether to take this call seriously or not. "Vijay, tell me one thing if you would," he asked politely. I was silent. "Would you really want to mess with me for a girl like her? You barely know her, isn't it?" I was not sure what he was talking about. When I was in Mumbai, I learned she was on leave to visit her relatives in Chennai. But when I paid a visit to her house, it was locked. I assumed she must have left to her relative's place. I didn't know whether the caller was telling me the truth or not, but I said what I deeply felt inside. I don't want to be in any trouble, but I cannot let harm come to anyone I care about. If you're serious and if you do have hurt her by any means, I really want to mess with you. I heard my voice calm and powerful. So be it. Find her if she is there. And you cannot track me with this number. Be creative. And no police. I sensed a sarcastic smile from him by the way he pronounced those words. And without any announcement, the line was cut. I waited for some time, hoping the caller would call again and announce it was just a prank, but he didn't. And I couldn't take the call as something which could be ignored. Someone had gone through all the trouble of using a modulator and using an untraceable number. All that had happened. I was not able to understand anything. If his intentions were to confuse me, then he did an excellent job of it. But there was something peculiar about him, his emotional detachment throughout the conversation. Multiple questions rocketed at me out of nowhere. For all I knew, the most important question at that moment was, "Where is AJ?" And I didn't know whether she was with him at the very moment or she was happily staying at her relative's place. But I made up my mind to revisit her house again. I said to myself, I will meet AJ.
இந்த பதிவு உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா மறக்காம லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. என்னோட பதிவுகளை உடனுக்குடனே தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்காக பெல் பட்டனையும் கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க. மீண்டும் அடுத்த அத்தியாயத்தில் சந்திப்போம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.